Joaquim Chissano is a former president of Mozambique. Born October 22, 1939, in Gaza province, south of Mozambique, Mr. Chissano registered at the University of Poitiers, France to study medicine in 1961 but in 1963 decided to leave his studies and move to Tanzania to dedicate himself fully to the movement for national liberation with the Front for the Liberation of Mozambique, FRELIMO, which he helped establish in 1962. He played a fundamental role in the negotiations of the Lusaka Accord signed in 1974 with the Portuguese government on the independence of Mozambique. In September of the same year, with only 35 years of age, he was named Prime Minister of the transitional government that led to the proclamation of independence in June 1975. After independence he was named Minister of Foreign Affairs. Along with Samora Machel, serving as president, he participated in the negotiations of the Nkotomai Accord signed with South Africa in 1984. After Samora Machel's death in 1986, Mr. Chissano was elected President of the Republic. As head of state, he undertook important socio-economic reforms, formalized in the 1990 Constitution, opening the country to a multi-party system and the free market. Similarly, he successfully managed negotiations with the former military group RENAMO, putting an end to 16 years of war with a peace treaty signed in 1992. In 1994 he won the first multi-party elections in the country and was re-elected in 1999. Although the constitution allowed it, he decided not to run for re-election in 2004 and dedicated himself to his foundation, the Joaquim Chissano Foundation, and other causes. Currently, he is a member of the Club of Madrid, the Hunger Project, International Crisis Group, Peace Parks Foundation, Goodwill Ambassador for CPLP, Portuguese Spoken Countries Community, and Global Partnership Initiative Youth Ambassador. He has received awards from many countries and has received several prizes, including the inaugural Mo Ibrahim Prize for Achievement in African Leadership in 2007. Joaquim Alberto Chissano, born October 22, 1939, is a politician who served as the second president of Mozambique, from 1986 to 2005. He is credited with transforming the war-torn country of Mozambique into a successful African democracy. After his presidency, Chissano became an elder statesman, envoy, and diplomat for both his home country and the United Nations. Chissano also served as chairperson of the African Union from 2003 to 2004. Joaquim Chissano was born in the remote village of Malehice, Chibuto district, Gaza province of the Portuguese colony of Mozambique, then called Portuguese East Africa. Chissano was the first black student to attend the only high school in the colony, Liceu Salazar in Lourenço Marques, present-day Maputo. After leaving secondary school, he went to Portugal to study medicine at the Faculty of Medicine of the University of Lisbon. However, his political leanings caused him problems and he moved to France, where he continued his studies at the University of Poitiers. In 1962, he went to Tanzania, where he participated on the political movement that resulted in the foundation of the Mozambique Liberation Front, FRELIMO, and a year later he abandoned his studies to move to Tanzania in order to serve on the fight for the independence of Mozambique. Chissano became one of the founding members of the Mozambique Liberation Front, FRELIMO, which demanded autonomy from Portugal. Later, Chissano played a fundamental role in the negotiation of the Lusaka Accord of 1974, which paved the way for the country's independence in 1975. The new president of Mozambique, Samora Machel, appointed him as Minister of Foreign Affairs. Chissano succeeded to the presidency and became FRELIMO party leader in 1986 when Samora Machel's presidential aircraft crashed in mountainous terrain in South Africa. Chissano ended the Mozambican civil war in 1992 by negotiating a peace treaty with the rebel forces that promised no prosecutions or punishments and gave them 50% of the positions in the Mozambican army. The RENAMO rebels later established their own political party. In 1992, Chissano learned the transcendental meditation technique and introduced it to other government officials and their families. 2 years later, Chissano and his generals ordered all police and military to meditate twice a day for 20 minutes. In addition, 16,000 soldiers and 30,000 civilians were taught transcendental meditation and its advanced TMC program including yogic flying. According to transcendental meditation literature, Chissano said the result was political peace and balance in nature in my country. According to Tobias Dye, the 2001 defense minister, the effect was overwhelming and included reduced crime, drought aversion, and 3 times the expected level of economic growth. In 1993 Chissano received an honorary degree from Malehice Vedic University in Meru, Holland, and in 1994 negotiated an agreement with Malehice Heaven on Earth Development for the agricultural development of 20 million hectares, 49 million acres, of unused land beginning with 2.5 million acres of timber, cotton, and fruit. The 50-year contract promised 20% to 40% of the profits for the Mozambique government, but other government officials refused the deal. Chissano was re-elected to the presidency in 1994, 53.3% of votes, and again in 1999, 52.9% votes, when he defeated the former rebel leader, Afonso de la Cama. After winning re-election, Chissano's priority became poverty eradication, but his efforts were complicated by a severe flood in 2000. However, Chissano had a fundamental role in convincing the G8 to write off £22 billion of Mozambique's debt in 2005. Chissano chose not to run for a third term in the elections of 2004, although the constitution would have allowed him to do so. During Chissano's presidency, almost 3 million people, about 15% of the country's citizens, were removed from extreme poverty and the country achieved an economic growth rate of 8%. In addition, child mortality rates for children under age 5 decreased by 35% and there was a 65% increase in primary school attendance. Since leaving the presidency, Chissano has assumed the role of elder statesman and has campaigned for peace through his work as an envoy and peace negotiator for the United Nations. Chissano served as chairperson of the African Union from July 2003 to July 2004. On December 4, 2006, the United Nations Secretary-General Kofi Annan appointed Chissano the special envoy of the Secretary-General to northern Uganda and southern Sudan, to resolve the conflict with the Lord's Resistance Army, LRA. On Chissano's 68th birthday in 2007, he was awarded the inaugural $5 million prize for achievement in African leadership awarded by the Mo Ibrahim Foundation. Chissano was absent from the award ceremony because he was still working on his United Nations mission in southern Sudan. According to the awards judges, Mr. Chissano's decision not to seek a third presidential term reinforced Mozambique's democratic maturity and demonstrated that institutions and the democratic process were more important than the person. In 2010, Chissano wrote an article for the Huffington Post about water scarcity in Africa. Chissano is a member of the Foundation Chiroc's Honor Committee. He is also an independent non-executive director at Harmony Gold Mining, a South African underground and surface gold mining company, as well as an eminent member of the Sergio Vieira de Mello Foundation. In 2014, Chissano has spoken out in favor of LGBT rights in Africa. On July 3, 2023, he was appointed honorary president of the new International Association of Friends of the Algerian Revolution. This organization aims to promote the principles of the Algerian Revolution and provide support to colonized peoples. On December 9, 2004, he received the Order of the Athir, one of the National Order of Merits of Algeria. On February 2005, he received the honoris causa title from the University of Minho. The title was awarded with the institution justifying the tribute with the action developed by Chissano as President of the Republic and also for the role he played in the peace process in Mozambique, in the evolution and construction of a democratic and opening up the country to development. In 2006, he received the Chatham House Prize. In 2007, Kofi Annan announced the former president of Mozambique as the winner of the Mo Ibrahim Prize for Achievement in African Leadership by the Mo Ibrahim Foundation. President Chissano received the inaugural Ibrahim Prize for his achievements in bringing peace, reconciliation, stable democracy, and economic progress to his country following the 16-year civil war which lasted until 1992. The prize also recognizes the major contribution he has made outside his country's borders. Chairs the Joaquim Chissano Foundation and the Forum of Former African Heads of State and Government. According to a UNICEF statement, released in Maputo, the former head of state would be distinguished, on May 24, with the title Doctor Honoris Causa in Literature and Philosophy, for the political and diplomatic work developed in the last 5 decades. On May 24, 2011 he received it. Chissano is married to Marcelina Rafael Chissano. He is the father of 4 children and his son received a scholarship to Malehice International University in Fairfield, Iowa. Chissano has been criticized for his continued friendship with Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, and there have been allegations that Chissano's son Nyimpine Chissano, who died in 2007, promised payment for the assassination of journalist Carlos Cardoso. Chissano speaks fluent Portuguese, French, English, and Swahili. He speaks Changana as well. After retiring from office, Chissano was appointed as Special Envoy of the UNSG for the 2005 summit to review the implementation of the Millennium Declaration. Later, he was first appointed as Special Envoy of the UNSG to Guinea-Bissau, Democratic Republic of Congo, and LRA-affected areas in Uganda. He was also appointed SADC mediator for Madagascar in June 2009. He is the Special Envoy of the ONU for Western Sahara. Currently, he is the chairperson of the Joaquim Chissano Foundation and the Forum of Former African Heads of State and Government. Chissano is an active board member of associations such as the Hunger Project, Peace Parks Foundation, International Crisis Group, CPLP, Portuguese Spoken Countries Community, Club of Madrid and the Global Partnership Youth Ambassador. He is one of the champions for a HIV-free generation, an initiative launched by President Festus Mogae. Thank you for watching this video.